This is The Crunch. It's been a while since the last episode of The Crunch. Maybe a month. Doesn't mean that I haven't been busy in of course, producing other episodes in other podcasts, as you have seen, Drive and Thrive, The Switch, other rooms, right? Sustainix even, all the other rooms of the Camel Hall, okay? But of course, I'm not forgetting The Crunch, which is part of the AI monitor, the Augmented Intelligence Monitor. It's just that there's been so much information, really, so much happening every day, even in this summer period, where, you would imagine that even tech companies take some vacation. Not at all. Innovation continues relentlessly, day and night. And of course, I've got my own operating system in place and my technology radar in place to make sure that, I don't miss the latest and most important announcements, okay? So, and of course, information has been dropping, every day, every hour sometimes in my mailbox, right? Information piling up. And I've been processing as much as I could with my own brain and my own eyes, this information. But I had to admit at some point that it's just becoming impossible, right? It's just too big a task for a human being. So, and that's the paradox of the era we're living in, right? So we're getting all these fantastic new AI assistants to help us with our personal productivity and crunching information. But at the same time, the production of content and data has never been that high and that big, right? So it's like a never-ending race. The more productive and efficient you are in processing information, the more information you receive. Cognitive overload looming, as we all know. And that's not the aim, so to speak, no pun intended. That's not the goal we are pursuing. To the contrary, we want to make sure we keep augmenting our intelligence and our bandwidth for critical thinking. Remember, right? So that's what we're endeavoring to achieve. So I thought I would reshuffle my approach to the crunch. If you remember, initially I said, am I going to do it weekly? Am I going to do it fortnightly? Well, guess what? Now I'm thinking about doing it only monthly. And the reasons behind it are still the same, right? I don't want to be in the urgency, in the contingent, in the hype, in the news. I just want to be, to position myself and to give you information, taking a step back about what's happening. And making sure that, as information unfolds, we exert our critical thinking and we think about the long-term consequences and the implications for society, for individuals, and for everyone, really. Okay? So I hope that that makes sense. Okay, so with this said, coming back to the crunch, I don't want to process all the information for information's sake, right? I really want to make sure that I focus on the key topics of interest. And there's really, if I think about it, there's really 5 main areas I'm interested in commenting on for your benefit and for mine in the next few weeks and months, right? And the first one is would be about safe AI, right? How do we make sure that we keep using AI in a way that is safe regarding privacy, right? And regarding bias, regarding the authenticity of information, its veracity. So I think it's really the first topic I want to make sure I cover consistently as I keep crunching information sources, right? So number 1. Number 2, the other topic, which is you've seen in the first episodes of The Crunch, is responsible AI. Responsible as in responsible towards, in particular, the environment, the planet, the society, right? So it's like in corporate social responsibility. Making sure that AI's impact on society in terms of jobs, in terms of disruption in general, but also in terms of energy consumption is not going to be, something that is going to destabilize completely our society and our planet, ultimately. We've talked about how greedy it is from an energy consumption perspective. We talked also about how you know, the financial resources are completely monopolized and absorbed by AI projects, in particular for training new models. We are in the order of magnitude of hundreds of billions already, which of course, at this scale of numbers, could solve the problem of hunger at planetary scale. So yeah, it becomes arguable to put all this money in that, right? So responsible AI is the second topic. The third topic I want to cover in this is the geopolitics of AI, right? We can see all the superpowers. First, let's take a step back, right? We're living in an era where bipolarity between the US and Russia is over, right? And the key event was, of course, the fall of the Berlin Wall and a few further developments, right? And the breaking down of the Soviet Union into republics, different republics. So noisy, Geneva, all the time. So noisy. And today we're living in a multipolar world with new powers. So of course Russia and America are still here, right? But the European Union, European Union is of course a superpower, at least from a, you know, economic perspective, if not yet a military one or technological one. But there's of course India, China, right? So that's at least three new big powers. We could of course talk about Japan, even if it's still very much aligned on the US, etc., etc. And of course we've got all the BRICS, the other BRICS, right? Brazil, so Russia is R, I is India, C is China, and S is South Africa. Okay, yeah, well, we owe South Africa a remarkable person in the person of Elon Musk. Whatever you think about this person, right? He's having quite an impact at the moment also in the world and in the scene of AI with this company X. Okay, so the geopolitics of AI, super important because it's an arms race. And we can see, of course, in particular, China flexing its muscles to make sure that it's keeping completely independent and keeps its sovereignty towards the supremacy or the seemingly supremacist position of America with on this set of technologies. So China now is definitely in the race with amazing technology. Okay, fourth topic. I'm trying to remember. The one is eluding me. I know there's AI for good, right? Which is close to my heart because at the end of the day, I believe technology should be, first and foremost, used for the betterment of individuals and the improvement of mankind, of the human condition, so to speak. So yeah, we'll of course cover the AI for good area as well. Can't remember what the fifth one is, but look, that's not what is important. What I'm trying to say here is that when you have an influx of information coming daily, hourly in your mailbox, and you want to organize your technology survey or your tech intelligence, your technology radar, your business radar, and I had a lot to say and to discuss over the past few weeks on this matter with my current employer, right? How do we make sure that, how can we help our customers setting up their technology radar? It's a big question. It's beyond the sole human capabilities, right? It's impossible. You need technology to do that. And so you have all these sources of information. That's one. You have all this knowledge mapping, information architecture that you've defined, the key topics that you want to keep yourself informed about, for instance. And then with that, you need AI to assist you, crunching the data and making sure that you make emerge the important trends and the key pieces of information and news that are important to you to inform your day-to-day decisions. Would that be strategic or tactical decisions? Okay? So I've been thinking, instead of doing a weekly or fortnightly episode of The Crunch, just handpicking, cherry-picking pieces of news arbitrarily with my brain and my eyes only. That if I do that, I'm too selective, or I'm at risk of being either too contingent or too selective and miss the bigger picture. So going monthly and processing a much larger volume of data, I want to see emerging some trends, and big underlying, landslides and waves of transformation, society evolution, and all that. But of course, if I take the month of July, which is what I'm going to comment, you'll have a blog post attached to this podcast, which crunches all the information I've received in July, right? And when I crunched that into a PDF document, that was 655 pages, A4 size, so letter size, and there's no way I'm going to read through all that myself. Absolutely not. And it's a huge volume of information. Excuse me. Even if I crunch that to text only, which I did, right? So from the PDF printout of my Outlook mailbox and using a PDF software, I crunched that and I produced a text file, which was still about a meg, 1 megabyte of data to process. Okay, so I thought about it, and I thought that what would be the perfect use case, actually, to try out a different model, right? And to start trying out, in particular, Gemini from Google, Gemini 1.5, the Pro version, which has the ability to process a context of not only 32K or 128K or 200K like Claude. No, Gemini Pro 1.5 can process 2 megabytes of context. Tick. I thought that would be really the perfect occasion to do that. And so I did. And at this stage, I'm still at the stage where this is being done through pure prompt engineering. Very crafted, highly crafted, and sophisticated prompt engineering. A little bit iterative in some areas, right, to process the 5 themes that I've chosen to retain and to keep talking about. But all in all, it took me maybe 10 minutes to tell Gemini 1.5 Pro 2 megabyte context to take my 1 megabyte compilation of content from the month to analyze separately the 5 themes and to extract for me the key ideas and the main pieces of information categorized, organized with the mention of all the sources important, right? So I've done some poll checking to make sure that actually the compilation is accurate, because you can never remember that the model can hallucinate. But I have to say I've been impressed, right? Because in 10 minutes, I had a complete review and sense of all the important things that happened across the month of July in the space of AI and Gen AI, and through the maybe dozen sources I have, right? And I don't know how many pieces of information, probably 2,000, okay? So that's great, and this is today the summary I'm offering to you, right? So instead of commenting on the content myself, check out the blog post and you will see all the outcome of this analysis. I hope you'll find that insightful. And I think I'll do that now on a monthly basis, right? And maybe, of course, next time, instead of explaining to you how I did it, right, which is academic at the end of the day, but maybe you'll repurpose that for your own benefit. I'll comment on the main, the main key items. I will still be handpicking some of the items from this crunch, right? But know that an AI, and in that case, a frontier AI, has been doing the job for me, the heavy lifting. Why am I using a frontier AI in that case? Because there's nothing sensitive, right? So let me review, if you remember in the last episode of the AIM, number 7, we spoke about the importance of organizing yourself with local, open source, private AI, right? And free at the end of the day. And that was with Olama, right? But in that case here, I'm processing information which is entirely public domain, okay? So privacy concern nil. I want the job to be done fast, so I need, and I don't have the computational power to do it in minutes, right? It would take probably 4, 5, 10 times the time with a local model than it's done it with a frontier model like Gemini Pro. It's probably one of the most cutting edge ones. So I needed the power of frontier AI. Cost-wise, this is part of my subscription with Poe, Poe.com. Remember, Poe is my second best friend after Olama. And with Poe, I've got access to all these amazing models, including Gemini Pro 1.5, 2 megabyte context. Costs me a lot, so just to give you a scale, the Poe subscription, $20 per month, gives you access to 1 million credit, and each message you send to Gemini Pro 1.5 costs 35,000 credit. So, in 30 message, you've exhausted your monthly allowance. It's fair enough. And I didn't need 30 messages, I just needed 5. Right? So it's quite sustainable still on a monthly basis. Frontier AI here, perfect use case for it. So I did. And I didn't compare with other models because again, I had a problem with the size of my tokens, right? I had a lot of tokens to process, and there's still not a lot of models able to do that out there. Okay, so I stop here because I think I've covered everything I wanted to cover. So this is the crunch, and now I've disclosed to you the way the crunch is going to be produced, heavily with the assistance of Frontier AI to help me producing better quality content, more crunched, so to speak, and that will still help me handpick really then the elements we want to choose for a more in-depth conversation, right? Would that be philosophical, societal, environmental, and all the rest of it, okay? So great help. This could be part of your tech innovation, business intelligence strategy, this kind of setup, and it should, right? With my company, we are offering services in that space now at the moment, so helping businesses, uplifting, modernizing their economic and technological intelligence with AI, which is really a no-brainer. That's it for the crunch. This is the aim, the Augmented Intelligence Monitor. I'll see you soon.